Hello friends, welcome to the next class of computational physics. In today's class, we will learn about declaration and initialization of variable. So, declaration of variable means declare what type of variable you want to be in your program. That means what type of data you want to store in your program. The general syntax is data type variable v1, v2, v3, v4 and end with semicolon. What this statement means? It means v1, v2, v3, v4 are the variables and data type is any valid data type, the C program, and the data you want to store, it must be declared that particular variable as of that particular data type. So, any 4 basic data types such as integer, character, float or double you can use as a data type in your declaration of variable. So, the rules are the line must start with the valid data type in lowercase, that is integer, float, character. These are the keywords. This is keyword for a integer data type, this is keyword for float data type and this is a keyword for character data type. So, the statement of declaration statement must start with the valid data type. As you know, the data type is keyword, so it should be in lowercase. There must be blank space after data type and then there must be a list of variables. And there must not be blank space between the variable names, because we know that the variable names only allows letter, digits and underscore as a special symbol, and the blank space is not allowed. And if you want to separate the variables, use comma as a special symbol for that purpose. So, the variable name must obey all the rules of identifier. No keyword is allowed as a variable name. Both upper and lower cases as a variable name are allowed in one declaration statement itself, but they are treated with different names. Also, the duplication is not allowed. And last and very important, the statement must end with semicolon. So, let us see some example. So, these are the statements where you can learn how you can declare the variables in C program. The first is int a comma b comma c. Now, what this statement means? It means a, b, c. These are 3 variables of integer type, that means they can take only integer values. Similarly, float x, y, comma z end with semicolon. Now, here this is a statement, this is valid statement. Why? Because x, y is a valid variable name. So, what this statement means? It means x, y and z are 2 variables of float type, that means they can take any float value, that is float with decimal point. Then character, name, comma class. So, name and class are the 2 variables. Name is valid variable name, class is also valid variable name. So, name and class are the 2 variables of character type, that means they can take a single character as a value to store. Then let us see some invalid example. So, int a comma b comma c end with semicolon. So, invalid is this int, capital I is not allowed. This is not a keyword for integer data type. So, correct statement is int a comma b comma c. So, a, b, c are 3 variables of integer type. Then float a comma b. So, this is also invalid. Why? Because the duplication in the same variable in the same declaration statement is not allowed. Even if you are writing 2 statement like this, so integer a and integer b, then float a, suppose like this in a same program, then this is also not allowed, because we have declared integer a, that is a variable as an integer type, b as an integer type. So, you cannot use a again for float. So, instead of this you can write float capital A. This is valid because small a and capital A are different. Now, let us see initialization of variable or defining constant. We already have some definition about symbolic constant. Now, here we will see during declaration itself, can we give a value to the variable? Yes, it is possible, and that process is known as the initializing variable. So, initializing means assigning the value to the variable during declaration itself. So, for example, let us initialize the value to the integer variable x with some value 10. So, you can write this statement as int, this is data type, x, this is the assignment operator, and then 10 end with semicolon. Now, what this statement means? This statement means x is a integer type variable and it will take value 10, or you can say as x is a integer type value integer type variable and value 10 is assigned to x. Similarly, so whatever we studied, so all these variables, that is a, b, c, x, y, comma, z, name and class, they can hold only one value at a time. If you want to store more than one value, then such a variable is known as array. We already have a definition of array. We have seen some examples of one dimension and two dimension array. Now, let us see how you can declare the array. So, to declare array, you must write a data type, any valid data type, then array name, any valid variable name, then array size. So, how much elements you want in that particular array. So, for example, to declare of an array of float type, you can write this as float mark 5. What it mean? It means mark is a float type array and it can hold 5 values with elements mark 0, then mark 1, mark 2, mark 3 and mark 4. So, these are the 5 elements. So, first value go to 0, second 1, third 2, fourth 3 and fifth to 4. Similar as to normal variable, you can have some values to the array elements also. So, you can, that process is known as initialization. So, giving value to the array elements during declaration of array itself is known as initialization of array. For example, int mark 5 equal to 19, 10, 8, 17, 9 end with semicolon. So, you must enclose the value in left and right brace. This is very important. You cannot use any other symbol to close the value. You cannot use square bracket, you cannot use left parenthesis, right parenthesis, you cannot use opening angle brace or closing angle brace. So, these are not allowed. Only the left brace and right brace are allowed to get a value to the array. So, what this means? It means mark is a 5 element array of integer type. That means the 5 elements in a mark array can hold 5 integer values. So, the 19 value will go to the first array element, that is 0, that is mark 0. The second value go to the second array element, that is 1. The third value goes to third array element, that is mark 2. The fourth value goes to the fourth array element, that is mark 3, and the fifth value goes to the fifth array element, that is mark 4. So, the values will get stored like this. So, the alternate way is, if you do not know how much series of marks you want to give or user want to give to that particular array, in that case you can put the size as vacant. So, automatically according to the data the size will get adjusted. So, integer mark square bracket, then blank square bracket complete, assignment operator and the values. Now, in this case also this 19 value goes to mark 0, 10 values goes to mark 1, 8 value goes to mark 2, 7 value goes to mark 3 and 9 value is also goes to mark 4. So, anyway, if you want to give array size, that is also okay, but if you do not want to give, that is also okay. Now, what is problem with this? If you give suppose one more value 9 and suppose 15. So, in that case this particular statement will show some error, but here in this case if you instead of this, if you write this as 15 and close, then in this particular case you will not get any error. This is what the difference. So, this is all about the declaration of array and declaration of variables of various data type, value statement, invalid statements and initializing the value to the variables. So, thank you. Let us see you in next class.